And welcome. It is the Hard Knocks After Show, talking Lions, talking Knocks,
Talking Knocks,
talking Knocks. I'm Chad Hardwick, your host here. My name is actually Christopher Fett, the adequate host at Christopher Fett on Twitter. With me, as always, Jeremy Reisman, the fearless leader at Detroit Online. Ryan is
maybe on his way.
Maybe on his way. He's putting the kids to bed. He's putting the kids to bed right now. Getting fired up. He got way too fired up after some of the speeches that Dan Campbell gave on the show. So we're getting all the Kool-Aid together here. Episode 1 is in the books for United States, from what I'm led to understand. Some other countries out there, I know we have plenty of fans across the nation that are still waiting to hear it. So if you haven't heard it yet, press pause, come right back once you have. But I was very entertained. I think I've said before that my opinion of Hard Knocks has always been one of a show that really needed a good direction and place to go. And I think they found it, Jeremy, because a lot of energy in this one.
Yeah.
A lot of Dan Campbellisms.
Sure.
We have about 8 different places to start.
Here's where
Go ahead.
I want to start. I did not expect to find myself tapping into a long forgotten Metallica phase where No Leaf Clover all of a sudden does something to me that music hasn't done in a while, and just watching Dan Campbell walk out of the tunnel at the end as that song is creeping up with the harps playing in the background. Oh man, that got me good. And
yeah, we were talking about it before. That was the original they did for the S&M album, which was like here's my Metallica phase too.
Right.
I thought I forswore that band, but no, the S&M album was like what they did that with the San Francisco Harmonic Orchestra, or Symphony, and it's just strings. It was like that was the original with them, and it was perfect.
Dan Campbell teed him up, right? Like they start the episode with that quote about the light at the tunnel being a freight train coming, and then they just lead into it. Like I'm literally getting goosebumps just thinking about the scene right now. It was so perfectly played by HBO, and this is why NFL Films is the best in the business. Like they're able to set you up and then knock all the pins down at the end, and
to tie the bow back together. Yes, perfectly.
I mean, that's just me fanboying on Metallica and HBO Films. Not even talking about the lines and how much cool moments there were in here, but to me, that's just maybe it's the videographer in me. I love that part.
Well, if I'm going to power rank the stars, we do love our list casts here on Pride of Detroit. The stars of this episode, number 1 was Dan Campbell.
Of course.
Obviously, like that goes without saying that Dan Campbell was all over it from jump to end. You know, the HBO knew that the main character of the series is Dan Campbell. From getting him from the up downs to the Metallica to
the speech that we've all
yelling
kind of
everyone,
seen,
which by the way, one of my friends had to note, it's like, what studies is he talking about? What studies? That's just a dumb guy thing to say.
No,
I know there probably is one, Jeremy, but like to go out there and be like, studies say it's like calluses.
But here's the thing, like that to me was the moment that Dan, like the part of Dan Campbell that we don't see all that often, because we see the meathead stuff, we see we'll tread water long enough for to bury your ass in the whole opening speech. But I think that speech right after that first practice where it starts off of him being like, hey, you guys need to be better. Like that can't be our first padded day. Mm-hmm. Our effort needs to be better. And then like he turns halfway in the middle of that speech to be like, listen, I'm doing this for you guys. Like, and then it turns like, and I know you're laughing, and I don't know.
I thought it was a heartfelt speech too.
It was not
I just
insincere.
could not. I was just saying, it's just such a Dan thing to like just that tiny thing. I pick up on tiny things in here, and I loved it. Everything from one ass cheek and 3 fingers will beat your 3 toes will beat your ass. To by the way, speaking of another metal reference, he's talking a lot about oceans and shallows and deeps. Unifying that together, I think you will appreciate that, Jeremy. So we had Metallica, but that right there is kind of the death clock theory, Metalocalypse theory of football. Gosh. Go into the water. Go into the water.
But I like
So-
that heartfelt part that just
Yeah.
we only saw a glimmer of it in this episode, and I think we're going to see more of it, where it's like this is all coming from a place of love and care, and we really saw it with the other play. Like this was obviously a very coach centric episode where all of the coaches talked about how they feel like they can relate to the players because they have what was it 80 years of experience. Playing experience on their staff.
I was so glad they hit upon that. We're going to go to the rest of my list here in a second, but I'm glad they hit upon that. Plus all the tape, which I loved. I remember Mark Brunell throwing that pass to beat the Broncos. That was amazing.
It was fun seeing all those old clips. Aaron Glenn take like that pick six that he had. That was amazing.
But like it goes to what we've been saying. We've been saying on this podcast for 2 years that the experience these guys bring being former players, and I called it a theory that Dan Campbell's working on.
Yeah.
I know he said it's like that's just how it came together, but
Right.
it's a theory of like this can work with former NFL players to get them through kind of the bumps and bruises of this season, which as much as they are talking it up, I think there's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises. But that does lead us to number 2 on the power rankings for me, which is Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn together as number 2 after Dan Campbell, because I don't think I'm going to get over the angry I love yous. The angry I love yous going back and forth.
I mean,
was
I love you, but what was the full quote? I love you, but
I'll beat your ass between the lines.
yeah.
I want to fuck you up.
I want to
between
fuck
the
you up,
lines.
but that's right.
Thank you. Ryan joins us now. Ryan Matthews, the rock god at Ryan_POD. Yes. Hello.
Oh man, wasn't it great when Aiden Hutchinson just like ended civil unrest in our country for like 2.5 minutes?
I was gonna say I he was number 3 on my list after Aaron Glenn and Deuce Staley's Love Fest. First for getting I completely forgot about Chris Hutchinson. I forgot that his dad played at Michigan, so that was a long line there. But right at the end, I think the best thing we got was Aiden Hutchinson's mind being blown as Obina Eze. Did I say that the name right, Jeremy? Okay, good. Thank you. I've only seen it in writing. Sitting there, his mind blown that Eze had offers to like half the SEC and to Michigan, and that he chose Memphis because he just liked the coaches, because he had only played football for a year and just liked Memphis.
He didn't know better.
The coaches props to the coaches at Memphis apparently giving him the sell job of the century to get him to come there instead of Alabama.
But okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the Billie Jean moment, because it obviously got hyped up for like 2 weeks before we got to see it, and he didn't kill it. Like I mean, he got into it, and as a karaoke expert, like we've done karaoke on these streams before.
We can't call ourselves that. Ryan,
no. Let me finish.
We cannot call ourselves karaoke experts.
Half of the battle is effort. In fact, I would argue in karaoke, 90% of the battle is effort. So I'm not going to knock Hutchinson on his effort. The effort was good. I expected the singing to be a lot better based on what everyone was saying. The singing was not good even after the false start there.
Oh my God. Hey, wow. This is wild. I did not anticipate hearing this. The man had no backup track.
That's true.
He sang it a cappella.
That's fair.
Have you ever done karaoke a cappella?
I could have killed it.
I have, but it's the one song I trust myself to do, and granted, that's the one song he trusted himself to do. I'm sure I would sound just about the same doing right now, Hall & Oates Out of Touch.
But listen, I'm just saying, like, the only reason that moment carried as much weight is because everyone else got behind him, and it was cool when they did, right? Like,
that's the point of it.
When he got to the bridge, people always tell me, like. That's when like the energy started to fill the room, and then you get to the chorus and everyone's like bumping, and sure, I'm just saying he got by with a little help from his friends. That's all I'm saying.
I thought it exceeded the hype.
Really?
It exceeded the hype?
Yeah.
I thought this was very musical. I thought this was a very all in all a very musical Hard Knocks. Malcolm Rodriguez, I think I need him to put his shoes on first, but he also was dancing
got
pretty
them dogs
well.
Out.
And we were talking before you got here, Ryan, about No Leaf Clover just being the soundtrack to all of this. It's been it's fascinating.
Did
it drag you into the abyss, man?
Did it tap into your latent Metallica? Did you have a Metallica phase? Because that's what it did for me. It pulled me back to like what was it, the Family
Oh,
Values tour days?
I listened to S&M nonstop. Like that was the one Metallica album I had, and I listened to it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing that I think was great about my experience in watching this episode was that Amanda, who just is not interested in football at all whatsoever, not interested in anything that has to do with this production, is like watching Aiden Hutchinson perform Billie Jean, and she's like, what is going on? But like, to peel it back to like what you just said about, about Campbell, that opening speech, like that just set the tone for the rest of the episode, because like she was hook, line, and sinker after he gave that speech, because she's like, who is this fucking psychopath? Like, why are all these men like, yeah.
I like there was that point in that middle speech after the first padded practice where he's like, I know some of you are looking at me like I'm a psychopath. I'm not a psychopath. And I just thought in my head, like, I'm not a psychopath. Said by psychopath.
Answering my I'm not a psychopath t-shirt is raising a lot of questions already answered by the t-shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the meme of SpongeBob like looking for the maniac, and the wanted poster is right behind him. Yeah.
All trying to find the guy who's the psychopath here. No, I mean the coaching staff in general stood out so much. Sure. They kept going to Kelvin Sheppard a lot too. And Kelvin Sheppard, I thought that was
I've been telling y'all.
I thought that was a great quote from him about like, Dan telling him, no, don't cut your hair at all. No, I want Kelvin Sheppard. I want Kelvin Sheppard.
I'm not hiring professional version of Kelvin Sheppard. I want Kelvin Sheppard.
Kelvin Sheppard. Yeah.
That was definitely one moment that stuck out to me. Another one, just kind of an interesting quote, like, and I think it speaks to the hunger of this coaching staff, is Mark Brunell when he said, like, the hardest part of coaching is not doing it. Like he can't go out there and perform.
Can't go out there and do it himself. Yeah. I think Deuce has told us the same thing. We had Deuce Staley on a podcast. If you're new to Pride of Detroit, on our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Pride Detroit, you can go back through our archives. We interviewed Deuce Staley, I think 2021.
Sure.
And he said it himself, like he's shaking a little bit on the sideline. He wants to do the stutter step. He wants to do the moves that he wants DeAndre Swift to be doing out there.
Yeah.
So like that's definitely part of it. I think that's number 4 on my list. So I've got number 1, Dan Campbell, number 2, Aaron Glenn and Deuce Staley, separated from the rest of the coaching staff just because the angry I loves you getting in. I just want that one part. I know it's going to be impossible to bleep, that one part where they're just hounding each other in the entire practice. The angry, very, very innuendo laden love.
The circling of the vulture
circling
line
each other,
kills me.
Barking at each other, man. Number 3, Aiden Hutchinson. 4 is the other coaches, and then 5. I mean, let's give it up to a guy who's also been on our podcast, Jamal Williams, who I thought was like, you want to talk about speeches? Jamal is going to be a coach one day with the speeches he gives. You can tell he's he's entered his dark phase. I feel like we got him in 2021 before the season. He was all happy. He was all happy, all anime. And I feel like you can tell last year hurt him a lot. You can tell him 3-13-1 really hurt Jamal, because you can hear that pain in the voice when he wants the team to do as well as Dan wants them to do.
It's a completely different side of him that we haven't seen, and it's actually, that wasn't even the full speech. Like there was a little bit of the speech that they cut out because they showed the full speech on the Inside the Den that premiered last night. But yeah, it's insane to me that a player that's been here for one season can be that impacted by everything, can be that bought into the culture and that hurt by one season. And maybe it's, you're coming from a Packers team that has, such a high pedigree, and
they know hurt though. Like they've been hurt in the playoffs
they
too.
do,
I know we would love to, but yeah.
Not in I'm playing meaningless games in November way. Like that's a completely different style of her.
That's fair.
And to see him just so affected by that is like, I don't know, something about grown men crying, like especially about a football team I care about and I've probably cried about once or twice in my life. Like it reminded me of the moment Dan Campbell stepped on the field on the practice field the first time after being hired as a head coach. Like he broke down, and seeing Jamal Williams, a guy who is not a legacy player of this franchise, just break down completely on the first day of padded practice. Like, how can you not love that guy? We didn't get any. Like, we got almost zero silly Jamal today, and he still stole the show. It's incredible.
Yeah. Jamal was. I mean, we knew that Jamal was going to be entertaining. We just didn't know he had like this range, right?
Yeah.
Right. Again, we got him when he
If
was
I'm
brand new to the
if
town.
I'm grading this like it's a television show and he's an actor, he has incredible range now.
He has Michael Keaton
fantastic.
range.
Yeah, dude.
We haven't even gotten to episode 2 yet. We've been promised like the St. Brown family, and I'm sure we're gonna get a lot more Jamal Williams too. And we got a huge amount of range out of Jamal in one show.
Jamal is Bob Odenkirk, Jeremy.
There you go. I love that. He can be
Humor
the silly
to
jackass, but-
drama.
Oh,
I'm gonna drama at the drop of a hat.
Gene.
I gotta say, the turns of phrases that came out of this though might be the other story, and I think besides the karaoke, I'm already seeing the Billie Jean thing lighting up social media. But the turns of phrases, man, we've already talked about Dan's. We've already talked about, whether or not it's shallows or the deep. Got to go into to drown it. You got to tread water to bury someone. To 3 toes and 1 ass cheek. Also, don't take a shit. Also, God, the after credits scenes.
These
Solid.
nuts.
So,
Yeah.
Dan
Yeah, he
Campbell
dropped
dropped
a
the
D's
D's
nuts
nuts.
Drops a D's nuts joke. I think that's kind of requisite now. I know. I mean, shit. Even Nick Saban's dropping D's nuts jokes. But what else we get? I know you were giggling about Jeremy. You were giggling about you look like a big ass mushroom.
Yeah, that was
Players
kind of
commenting
interesting.
on.
I did not
Yeah.
think that the new padded helmets were going to make the Hard Knocks, but it definitely got it. Like, just Aaron Glenn breaking down when he first sees them. It's just like, it's fun seeing people happy.
Dude, it's Taylor Decker wistfully putting away clothes in his closet that he's gonna wear once he's in better shape. Once he's not so big anymore.
That might be the most relatable thing that Taylor
Yeah,
Decker has ever said in
I'm
his
doing
life.
For sure.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that right now. Trust me. And then the other thing that stuck with me is the no shits in the running backs room.
No shit. No.
I was gonna say my 3 things I've taken away from this is heavy metal, taking shits, and angry gay love between coaches.
It's Deuce's 8 seconds though. It's not your 8 seconds. He's counting when you leave the room, remember?
While we're on the
he
shits,
counts fast.
While we're on the shits topic, Jamal Williams may have still had the quote of the episode with his "We're running through you like diarrhea."
Yeah, AG. Yeah, he said it to AG, didn't he?
I think
This
so.
was an insanely quotable Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything since I can't tell you the last time we had a good Hard Knocks quote, and that was Jeff Fisher. But I feel like this one has been a very quotable Hard Knocks.
Yeah, we might by the end of this we might just beat out. Now let's go have a fucking snack.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's. What else stood out to you guys? I'm kind of in the glow about a lot of this right now.
I feel like we didn't touch enough on AG and Deuce, right? Like, I wrote down a couple of great lines from there, which is like, okay, so it seemed like the offense was winning a lot of those reps, and then the defense finally gets one, and Aaron Glenn gets in his face, and Deuce's reply is, "Oh, great, you stopped the screen. Oh, you stopped the screen. Wow, good job stopping the screen."
Oh yeah, no, I think he like blew the whistle. It's like, oh, you're the ref now. You're the ref now.
That was my other favorite.
Oh yeah,
he
you're
was
talking
calling
about holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a ref now. You ref. I don't know, man.
As I said, just like I love you. If everyone could express their love like Deuce and AG do, this is free love here. Free love.
This was very clearly like Hard Knocks playing their best card too, right?
Sure.
Like episode 1,
You gotta
it was really heavy on the coaching staff. And I mean, we all know about the footage that they got from, going to the St. Brown's house, and they obviously, gave a lot of that away with the Hutchinson family too. But like, I think that now as the weeks go on, it's going to be more roster focused 100%. And it's going to be, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that though. Like, I think that this was a really good primer.
Yeah.
Because I think the most impactful part of the episode to me, aside I won't say aside. I think it's the speech that Dan Campbell gave after the first padded practice.
Mhm.
Like you could tell that he was about to break down. Like he was getting choked up. He's like, "You guys have to trust me." He's like, "This is the only way that you're going to be healthy." And it like echoes the thing that he said, when he's talking to him, before they go out for their first practice, and he's like, "This is the best you're going to feel for 8 months.
Yeah.
Like this is the best you're going to feel for quite some time. And the sooner that you accept that, the better off you're going to be." And like. I hate the whole like I'd run through a brick wall or inject this into my veins or like any of those like cliche dumb things, but like it's just as simple as saying like I believe in Dan Campbell. I believe in Dan Campbell. Yeah.
It's hard not to, man. Like I know there's this like exterior vision of who he is as a person, but I feel like they don't understand him like I do sometimes, Ryan. And hopefully by the end of this thing that they do, because I mentioned that at the top, like I feel like that moment was the side of Dan Campbell that not everyone sees, right? It's that yes, I'm telling you to run through a wall and destroy this guy and bite his kneecap and whatever, but I also care the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
As I said, it's male love all over this episode.
It is
in the angriest way possible.
But
so what I want to look towards next week.
Yeah.
As we wrap up here on our after show. And if you're on Twitch right now, stick around. We will take questions from chat and talk about it a little bit more. We're just getting our recorded part done. So as we look towards episode 2, we have established that the coaches were the stars of this one, from highlighting all their playing time to Dan Campbell's speeches to Deuce and AG to everything here. So what are you, you talked about it a little bit, Ryan, you're expecting to see more of the roster moving forward. And we got a little bit of that with Eze and Hutchinson, kind of a nice contrast. Two guys in the ice bath, one who was the number 2 overall pick, one who's is Eze still with the team, or was he one of the retirees?
No, that was I forgot his name already. That's
it wasn't
bad.
Eze though. No, my mistake.
Zayn Obeid is the one who did
Ferris State tackle, right?
Zayn Obeid, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. But Eze from Memphis, he's still on the team, but still undrafted rookie, undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I've had him in my bubble watch, but he's looking to make it pretty much at depth.
Yeah.
As a offensive lineman. Huge contrast there, but it sets us up very nicely to what is the meat of Hard Knocks, which is the haves and have-nots of an NFL roster moving forward. So Ryan, where do you see the highlights coming from? Besides that, we've already got a lot of Aiden Hutchinson, and we know that St. Brown's family is coming.
Yeah, so real quick, I think the thing that I'm most excited to see, weirdly enough, is like in episode 2, like I can't wait to see on the field stuff during the preseason game. Like I can't wait to hear audio from that. I can't wait to hear, stuff from just on the sideline, because that's always great stuff. And especially with it being Hard Knocks, you get it way more unfiltered than NFL films, right? But I want Jared Goff. Like I want them to hone
the Hard Knocks All-Star, Jared Goff.
I want them to hone in on the fact that like this is the 3rd time around, and he's with a new team. And there's so many,
this might be his last expectations. Chance. This might be his last chance. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many expectations surrounding him. And like, I just think that goober is interesting enough to put on camera from that angle. Like, I think that there's enough intrigue there. Like, he should be like, not like obviously the main focus of it, but like, I would like Jared Goff to be highlighted in episode 2.
I mean, I guess I don't have a specific person in mind. I am interested in some of the bubble players. Like I think Jared Davis and Jeff Okudah. Those, not Jeff Okudah's a bubble player, but like I'm saying those guys kind of have more appealing stories to me. But I think you bring a good point. Like we got almost no on-field audio from players. Whether it was in practice, they basically skipped over the entire Ford Fest. That just became a montage, which was interesting choice, and that's fine. Like that's fine. And I imagine they'll probably go back, right? Because Hard Knocks is not always completely chronological. I think that's like they don't always run up to the previous week. So I think
no, they have stories. The story they want to tell is most important. Timeline be damned.
Yeah. But the one thing that I was most excited for from the get-go from Hard Knocks, and we got almost zero of it in this episode, and that's the meeting rooms, because that's the true unparalleled access. I'm there during practices. I'm there at the press conferences.
Yeah, shout out to you in the green polo, by the way.
Right, I did make a brief appearance, but what we don't see is the meeting room stuff. And yeah, we saw the dancing. Yeah, we saw a speech or two. But I'm talking about like those intimate, where the coaches are talking about the players. That's what I want to see.
You're talking about like the credits run, like those like staff meetings, we got the silly parts, right? Like you want to see like the meat and potatoes.
We got one scene of that this week, and it was the coaches talking about Aiden Hutchinson saying like, "Hey, did we do it?
Did we do it? Did we get the right guy?"
And everyone's like, "Oh yeah." Like
you better. You took
like, I want to hear them talk about players that they don't like. I want to hear them talk about players that they do like. I want to hear what they say unfiltered about Malcolm frickin' Rodriguez. Like, that's what I'm excited to see, because those are those guys that they're most unfiltered, and those are the guys, like, if there's a different version of these coaches, and I'm not sure there is, than the ones that we're seeing public facing, I think those guys are pretty authentic, but if there's a different person out there, we're going to see him behind the scenes in those meetings, and so that's what I'm really excited about.
I think it'll just break some of their hearts. Again, like that was like one of the first things out of DC's mouth, Dan Campbell's mouth, was, don't worry about where you are on the roster. Because again, all these guys are NFL players and they've all fought for roster spots before.
Sure.
They all know just what hell is coming down that pike, which will make it insanely fascinating when we actually do get to cut days on Hard Knocks. But we will get to that when we get to that on Hard Knocks. We'll be with you all Hard Knocks Detroit Lions season long. By the way, I saw at the end they were previewing Hard Knocks in season for the Cardinals. No, I knew you'd say that. But until next time, I'm Christopher Fett. That's Jeremy Reisman. That's Ryan Matthews. We'll see you Starside. Stick around for more Hard Knocks, more Talking Knocks.